guys, my name is Lindsay Robinson. I'm an operations manager for the bakery for Market Street. I'm an operations manager, which means that I work the operations and production side of the bakery. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to decorate cakes. We're going to be doing a drip cake. I brought chocolate cake today because it is my favorite. So we're going to do a very small one. We're going to need a cake, a board to put the cake on, and we're going to need a large bag that has what we call an icer tip in it. It's about this big. It's got teeth on one side to help it grip to the cake. Let's see. And we're going to have that in a big bag of buttercream icing because that one is easiest to decorate with. We will have a small bag for doing our trim, and that has a coupler in it, a coupler and a ring, or we call a coupler set. There's a couple because there's two. The coupler will go inside the bag, which is where it is now, and the ring is on the outside to hold our tip on there. The tip we will be using today is called a star tip. It's what we do for most of our trims. It kind of has a little spiky look to it. It creates like seashell looking designs. So that is what we're going to be using. And we're going to be doing a drip. So I have a white chocolate ganache that we're going to heat up in the microwave and use to make a drip around the edge of the cake. First things first, we do need to ice our cake. So I do have a 2-layer cake, which means there's a top and bottom to it. We're going to need to go ahead and put icing in the middle. So we're going to cut to where just the tip comes out, right there. The teeth come out of the bag, but it doesn't come all the way through. Okay. Now before we get started on that, we do need to make sure you have a bowl because you're going to need to scrape off your excess icing in here, and a flat icer, which is just a little flat piece of plastic. One side is smooth, one side is rounded. This is the side you grip on, just like that, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and fill the middle of our cake with icing. It does not need to be perfect, but we wanna go ahead and just have some icing between our cake layers. You will be doing this on a turntable for the most part, which turns by itself. I'm right-handed, so you ice with your right hand, and with your non-dominant hand, you're gonna turn your table. So I normally turn my table counterclockwise and I ice towards myself. If you are left-handed, you will do the opposite, turn it clockwise and ice again towards yourself. So we're gonna go ahead and stick that top piece on. To make sure your cake comes out even, you don't have too much cake showing on the side, make sure that it is even all the way around. You have the top and bottom lining up. And then we're gonna go ahead and start icing. Make sure the side with teeth is the side that you have facing against the cake, okay? You're going to squeeze only enough icing where you can manage with your hand. You're gonna squeeze icing against the cake like that and spin as you go so you can get a nice even coverage, okay? If you can't squeeze for that long, which I used to could not, just do a little at a time. So just do little sections and then stop and get more icing if you need. Do another little section. The key is to try to cover every inch of the cake, but make it as even as possible. You don't want big blobs of icing here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around the cake 2 or 3 times. Again, take your time doing this. Make sure every inch is covered. You don't want to see any cake. And then when you get to the top, you're going to do the same thing. We're going to hold it on top and go around. And it's okay if you go over the sides a little. It'll help you get a nice clean edge. And you're going to fill the middle as well. And I'm going to make some little dots on here so that I don't have too much cake showing. Should look something kind of like that. Okay? Now I'm going to get my flat icer, it's my little plastic scraper, and you want to hold it where it is straight up and down. You don't hold it like this or hold it like that, you'll get a volcano or whatever design this would be. And you're going to hold it against your cake very lightly. You're going to rotate your cake around. And as you go, icing's going to come off and that's okay. You just scrape it into your bowl, okay? And you're going to keep going around in circles. And as you go, you'll start to notice your icing is smoothing out. And again, I go in little increments because I can't go all the way around, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now I've got a nice smooth side. Our sides are smooth, we're gonna start in our top. When you do the top, you're going to pull your icing towards the middle, keeping it nice and flat. Don't start from the side and come up because you're gonna make it rounded. You want it to be nice and crisp. So we are going to hold nice and flat, come in towards the middle, just like that. We're gonna go on each side, pull it in, all the way around like so, until you get all that extra icing off. And we're gonna go ahead and get the top nice and flat, just like so, okay? So it does not have to be perfect. As you can see, I have a few marks here and there. That's okay, we're doing a trim, we're doing a drip. We'll cover it up. So don't be upset if it's not perfect, because mine never are. Okay? The next part of this, we are going to go ahead and melt the ganache. I usually do about 10 to 15 seconds in the microwave, never any longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and go do that real quick. Now I'm gonna go ahead and melt the ganache. Usually, I put it in there, put the top up so you don't spill it, and I'm gonna give it about 10 seconds. That should be perfect, it's nice and liquid. Now that I've got my ganache all melted, I'm gonna go ahead and do a drip. I do this again with your right hand, your dominant hand, and then turn the table as you go. This one's gonna come out pretty quick, so you don't really have time to stop, so you will need to make sure you're ready when you go. I'm gonna cut a teeny tiny hole in it, that way I don't have too much come out at once. So just about that big or so, and it's already coming out, so be sure you're ready again. We are going to drip it on top of our cake, and it is going to come down the sides on its own, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on top. And as you see, it'll start dripping down the side, just like so. So I'm gonna just put it right on the edge of the cake and let it drip down as you go. If you want some longer drips, you can always just go through and add them yourself, just like so. But I'm gonna cover my top first. And then I'm gonna go through and add little drips. Just little dots here and there. The last part is gonna do a little trim on top. This is what we call a shell trim. So we're gonna take that bag of white that's got the coupler already in it, and we're going to trim it, but only to where the tip of the coupler comes out, not the entire coupler. So we just want the white to come out a little bit. And we're going to take the ring and our star tip, put the star tip on top, and use the ring to attach it like so. So when you do a shell trim, you want to hold it in one spot. You want to squeeze, stop, and pull over. And again, you want to hold it in one spot, squeeze, stop, and pull over. And you kind of want to keep doing that all the way around the top of the cake. And we will go ahead and cover the top of the cake like so. A nice shell trim. And that is our drip cake. I first started in the bakery when I was about 18 and I had just graduated high school. I just kind of needed a job while I was going to college to help pay the bills and some extra cash and stuff. But I really ended up kind of liking it. Like being able to decorate and show your creativity and then make breads from scratch and cookies and pound cake and all the sweets that I absolutely love. Really, I enjoyed it so much that I ended up staying for quite a while. And that's why, you know, I kind of think you guys should try it too. There's so many opportunities, especially in bakery and in the other food service departments for United that you guys may not know about. You know, United has so many opportunities, so many different positions. They have a bakery, but we're not just a bakery. We make scratch breads, we make like specialty cakes. We have different positions in bakery, different ways to move up. There are, you know, positions in deli and seafood as well. We do catering events. We actually work big events and weddings and exposés, and we have exposés in store, and you're not going to find that in another grocery store anywhere. We do things with this company that I never thought a grocery store would be able to do, and we especially have, such a good family-like environment. Like whenever I first started working, I got to know my team members, my family, and they always had my back every time something happened, or if I was sick, or if I needed someone to help me with something. We teamed up together and they helped me get it done. There was never a time when I felt like I was alone. So my fellow team members always tried to help me out, and I always tried to help them out, and it really kind of became a family thing. We work together every day, we see each other every day, but we're more than that. It's a team, because everything we do comes together at the end of the day, because we do that to serve our guests. And when we serve our guests, it's more than just getting a sale or giving them a product. We do all kinds of specialty orders, and we give all kinds of specialized, customized things for people. People who have, terrible things happen. The company, likes to be able to help and be there. If something really great happens, like weddings, we do hundreds of wedding cakes every year, and they're gorgeous. And we're even able to do, because we have so many talented people who care, like if someone needs a last minute wedding cake, or someone canceled on them, or their wedding got canceled, we're able to accommodate them and find the things that they need to get it done. And we create some of the best wedding cakes I've ever seen, and at a cheaper price than any regular family-owned bakery you're going to find. So it's not only affordable, but it's great quality. It's something that it's here for the people. It's not just a business, but there are opportunities within it. So and with Market Street and United, it also has like a really, really fun atmosphere. Like, it is so much fun to work there. I love going to work every single day. Like, I get excited for it. I wake up early, I'm ready to go in. My team's excited to see me when I get there, and that's amazing. The company works around me while I go to school. They work around my shifts, and they let me have time off when I need it for tests or for projects. And they even have programs to help pay for schooling so that you can advance your career further. And that's something you don't find everywhere else. You should definitely go check it out. Go to your local United or Market Street and see if they've got positions opening, because they almost always do. And you never know what you'll run into. They need chefs, they need decorators, they need bakers, they need managers, they need people who can progress and move up and fill positions that are constantly coming open. This company's growing, and they need people, and they need people like you. They need someone who wants to be part of the family.